You are now listening to the Inner Circle Podcast Network.
Never die. 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 Never die.
Fuck you. All right. It is Friday, but before we get in today's podcast, I'd like to thank Jon Andersen's Thrive Body Transformation Program. Look, if you're trying to lose weight, get in shape, get your gear, get your shit straight, get everything in your life correct. And you don't got to be an athlete to lose weight. Learn how to eat, what to eat, and how to eat, the times to eat. It's as easy as that. You can reach out to Jon, just mention the Angry Dad, and he'll take care of you. That is Jon Andersen's Thrive Body Transformation Program. CH Concrete, serving the San Francisco Bay Area. That is CH Concrete, serving the San Francisco Bay Area. No job too big, no job too small. Residential, commercial, does not matter. CH Concrete can help you. Just mention the Angry Dad, and they'll take care of you. Vitable, if you take vitamins, guess the fuck what? You can get 50% off your first order at Vitable.com. Use code AngryDad50 at checkout. And they take your vitamins, they put them in individual packs, so you're ready and locked to go. I'm talking about, look, everything I take in the morning, everything I take before I go to bed has individual packs, and it makes it that easy. It is affordable, and you can get 50% off your first order at Vitable.com. Just use code AngryDad50 at checkout. Death Wish Coffee, twice the caffeine. You want to drink some black coffee as a pre-workout? Guess the fuck what? You can easily do that at deathwishcoffee.com. Use code AngryDad at checkout and get 10% off your first order at deathwishcoffee.com. All right, and Official is a hip-hop inspired street brand coming from Tucson, Arizona. Look, hats, shirts, art prints, bracelets, all that good shit. They take old school, make it new school. Get the fuck up at official.com. Use code AngryDad at checkout. It's 25% off your first order. Any orders over 50 is free shipping. So guess the fuck what? You get 25% off plus free shipping if you order multiple items at official.com. Go get hooked the fuck up. And today I got a guest, Brandon Allen, a strong beast of a man with the most luxurious beard that I've seen so far. I'm going to bring him in because he is joining me.
What's going on, brother? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it. And I'm going to get straight into it. Your beard is fucking thick and luscious. And you know, people always ask me, how do you get it like that? And there's only, and look, mine's is as beautiful as yours. So could you break it down real quick?
Well, first off, it's genetics. So, I mean, if you don't have the genetics to grow facial hair, you know, like certain races don't grow facial hair good and other ones. So I happen to be blessed in the growth department. But, you know, then it comes down to beard care and things like that. I didn't learn until maybe a few years ago that how scrubbing the skin really opens up your pores and lets the hair follicles grow quicker. So once I started scrubbing my skin with shampoo every single day, even my scalp, you know, that's why you go bald is when your scalp gets plugged up. So stay on the beard, scrub that shit, take care of it, keep it oiled, keep it hydrated. And I live out here in the desert, so it's important to keep the beard balm in there, otherwise it does break. It does want to break.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, and that's the thing is like even how you had said just a few years ago, I used to always keep my beard nice and tight because I couldn't stand the itch when it get a certain length, and so I never really used beard oil, beard balm, or beard care because it just is one of those things. I'm like, until the internet popped off and started showing me shit, I didn't know nothing about it. So I did the same thing, and then all of a sudden I got hooked up with some beard oil, and then actually learning beard care, and that itch goes away very fast.
Yeah, no, and then like on Amazon, my wife ordered me like the scalp scrubber, and it's like little rubber bristles. Like it looks sharp, like it would hurt if it was hard plastic, but it's soft rubber, and that's what I use to scrub, and it just goes right through under the skin. And I tell you what, man, it's made a huge difference. So, if you guys want your beard to get nice and thick, keep your skin clean.
There we go. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the best advice right there you can get, because like I said, that's usually what it is you got to wash it, take care, because there are special and different soaps for conditioning and shampooing your fucking beard. And then too, the combing, I never realized how much I was actually going to comb. And then a wooden brush is one of the first things that I learned that is a must in that care group.
Yeah, no static electricity in the wood, so it doesn't get it all bound up. You'd be surprised. I don't do much care for my beard. Like I wash my face. Obviously, I shower twice a day, so it's getting washed twice a day. I guess that is, extensive care, but and I condition and shampoo it. But throughout the day, it just kind of is, you know what I mean? I don't really have to do much maintenance for it other than just pull it down every now and then. Because out here, you know, the desert wants to get all bushed up when we get a little bit of humidity. But for the most part, man, I guess I just got lucky. And also, if you're trying to grow your beard, you know, you just need to not cut it. You know, a lot of people are constant. Like, I guess there's two philosophies on that, because I know people that trim it regularly and they got real great big beards. And there's guys like me that don't ever trim it, and it is what it is. So I guess would teach its own. But for me, just don't cut it, and it grows.
That's exactly. I trim mines, but I only trim the sides because, like, as soon as it starts spreading out, I can't handle it. I literally gotta try to maintain it to that.
It's a lot.
Bottom point.
It's a lot. I usually I'll put in like a bunch of ponytails, pull it in tight, and then a bunch down, and it just helps it grow that way too. It's pulling on it, and also when I'm eating and shit like that, sometimes it just gets annoying, man. When you eating breakfast, you got eggs and salsa in your beard. So
eating wings
just fold it in half and put it in a rubber band and keep it out of the way.
No, it's definitely it. Because I love eating wings, and we don't get to have them too often. But like I said, it definitely catches all that sauce that comes off.
Oh yeah, I love wings. That's like by far my favorite cheat meal when I do have one, or even ribs, right? And I'll never forget. It's so frustrating or annoying when you're at a restaurant and your waitress wants to tell you that you have shit in your beard. Ma'am, I'm aware. Like, obviously, I know there's shit in my beard. Leave me the fuck alone. Let me eat. I'm gonna get it all at once at the very end. Yep. We were at what is it? A Claim Jumper, and Claim Jumper's got those huge beef ribs. They're the size of a fucking forearm. And my face is just smothered. And every time the waitress come by, she's like, "Sir, I'm like, I know. I'm like, I fucking know. I get it. It's okay. Leave me alone." It's on my cheek and shit. I don't care.
And it's like I'm not a clean eater. And when I mean clean eater, like it literally all over my face. So like whenever we go to a restaurant, or even when I'm sitting here at my own dinner table, I have to have like 2 or 3 placemats around me, because my wife doesn't want anything on the table. She's like, I'd rather just wash the placemats. So like as soon as I get, sometimes I look up at her, and just like you said, the waitress will look at you. My wife will look at me like, I knew what I married.
Yeah, I don't even. When I'm eating messy at home, I will literally time it so I can shower after. It just makes it way easier. Like, I don't brush my teeth. I brush my teeth in the shower because you get fucking toothpaste all over your shit and pain in the ass, So
it is. And then you smell, and like I said, you get that scent when you brush your teeth like that, and you don't wash it out immediately. You're just smelling toothpaste all freaking night.
I've been brushing my teeth in the shower for like 10 years now, maybe longer. And now even when we're on like vacation or something like that, and I'm brushing my teeth in the sink before we go down, like at a hotel, I have to use hot water now when I brush my teeth, because I'm just so accustomed to the hot water.
Yeah, no, I do the same thing. Like it's just that it's that comfortability you get. And it's just like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, let's switch gears here. You are getting into a sport in which you just, you faced off with Larry Wheels himself, that a beast of a man himself. Anyone who sees Larry Wheels, or even looks at a picture, because most people don't know who they're looking at when they watch these videos, or they watch these clips, or they see these crazy things. But you just took down a mountain of a man in the fact that, like, he is, I guess you would almost consider maybe the strongest internet personality out there.
Yeah, I would say Larry Wheels is one of the most genetically gifted human beings on planet Earth. And then he has the work ethic to go with it. The guy has no life other than fitness. He's always involved in some sport at the highest level. He doesn't just, he doesn't do anything at a low level. So it's just been cool to watch him over the years. I've known of Larry since he was 18 years old, got into powerlifting. That was my sport prior to arm wrestling. So me and Larry were kind of climbing the ranks together in the powerlifting world. I was much larger than Larry when we were competing in powerlifting. I got to 370 pounds. He was 275, 285 in that range. So much bigger. So I was stronger than him in terms of overall lifts. But we're not talking far off. My squat was significantly higher than his, but our deadlifts were the same, and he benched more than me by quite a bit. So Larry's a freak athlete, dude. And now that he's been in arm wrestling about a year longer than I have. So anyone that's been arm wrestling could tell you time is everything. You know what I mean? The more time you have in the sport, you develop that tendon and elbow integrity, the better, the stronger you're going to be. So when I got the call for that match with Larry, I came to table 2. wasn't invited out there to go beat him. You know what I mean? Like, I was invited out there to go get my ass whooped. I looked the part, big old dude, tatted. It would have looked good for Larry to beat up on another strength athlete, you know what I mean, with similar time experience. And it just didn't go that way. You know, anyone that knows me knows when I got that phone call, my life completely stopped in terms of everything else other than training. And I'm in the gym 3 times a day, doing everything I can, no stone left unturned. And I went out there and I showed, mind you, I had to travel too, out to Dubai for our match.
That time
traveling to Dubai was an experience of its own. You know, it's a Muslim country. It's not something I'm accustomed to. It's much different values and then the heat. You know, like we were out there in the coldest time that it gets out there, and it was 85 degrees and 65% humidity the entire time.
People don't understand what humidity is until you get to humidity.
Oh yeah, I live in Las Vegas, so I'm used to 100 plus degrees with 0% humidity.
Yeah.
Like I can handle the dry heat all day. In fact, I love it. But being out there just at 85 degrees, which isn't even hot in terms of what I'm accustomed to.
Yeah.
But the humidity, I didn't stop sweating the whole week that I was there.
Yeah, I've been in the shower constantly.
Yeah, so our hotel, the hotels were cool, and then our room was comfortable, obviously. So, and then, but there's no AC in the elevators. So I'm on the 17th floor. And, we would come out of our room, and then by the time I got to the bottom floor, I was soaking wet. I'm not exaggerating. Like, mind you, I bulked up to 320 pounds for that match. So I put on about a little over 20 pounds of body weight, or around 20 pounds of body weight. So I'm running hot, I'm on gear.
Yeah.
Dealing with the humidity. It was tough, man. It was super tough. I felt like I smelled like shit the whole trip because I was just not constantly
well, when you're
sweating.
sweating that bad, it's just, we can't, like I said, I'm 6'5", 300 pounds. And so like, that's just my life. That's exactly how you just sitting here talking with you, I'm sweating.
Yeah, I sweat in a freezer. You know what I mean? It never stopped. So.
It never stopped. I could have all the AC on plus a fan on me, and I'd still be just sweating from touching blankets.
Oh yeah, it drives my wife crazy. But our AC bill's expensive in the summer, and I work from home. I'm always home, and then I gotta sleep, and I cannot fucking sleep if it's hot. I'm sure you're the same way. It's just not possible.
I'll be damn near spread eagle because where I'm at in the Bay Area, I live in Fairfield, and it sits during the summer. It just sits at 9. It sits at probably about 95, and then we get those spikes where it'll hit 103, 104, and then on a hot day might get like 105 at the most. But it's just that, just like it's the same humidity out where you're at, where it's just like it's this dry, resonating heat, and that AC is just like clicking. Yeah. I learned to become an AC mechanic because I would not want that to shut down.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I have a good friend that is an HVAC, so I got him on call if I ever have an issue. He knows dire need to get over to Brandon's house. We got to get the guy fucking working.
That's it. I know you have a home. Your gym's set up your home's set up with a fantastic gym inside. Mine's is the same way. I got a 2-car garage, completely decked it out, and that's the only thing I wish that was AC'd up that we don't got out here. So when I step in there,
it's rough in the summer. I've been, plenty of workouts in my garage where the thermometer's hitting 102, 103 in the garage, and it'll be 110, 115 outside, fans on and just melting. But, I always look better in the summer. And the reason why is training in that heat. I'm burning way more calories and, which is fine. I would like to put an AC unit in my garage. I've considered it. Like my buddy that has HVAC, I told him, the next time you got an AC unit that you're replacing and like that AC unit's not quite done, but it's on its way out.
Yeah.
Let me grab that thing off you for a good price, and we'll slap it on the roof, punch a hole in the roof, and get dumping some cold air in the garage. I just want to take the edge off. If I can get it to like 80 with moving air, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, no, see that's comfortable. That is comfortable when you're working out because you don't want it too cold. Because like when you go to a commercial gym and that AC's blasting, it's like you can't get quite a pump, you can't get quite that right sweat. Because when you're working out, you need to sweat, you need the pump, you need a little bit of heat. But if you can knock the edge off of 100, you know what I'm saying? I'll push back on that a little bit. I do love ice cold AC gym. I'm not gonna lie, because like I said, I don't have a problem with breaking a sweat. I'm gonna sweat. That ain't no issue. But
it's rare, you know, and where we live, unless you want to go to the commercial gyms and deal with all the strippers, which isn't bad, but then all the douchebags that are chasing those strippers around, then it sucks. You know what I mean? So when I used to have my gyms, I sold my gyms during the lockdowns. I wasn't able to, just didn't make sense to keep them anymore. But when I had my little gym up north, I would keep that motherfucker ice cold. But mind you, I was 360, 370 competing back then, 1 foot in the grave, knocking on devil's door every day. And I needed the cool air. Otherwise, it might have been my last squat workout. You know?
Yeah. Well, with the kind of weight that you were putting up, God freaking damn. You know what I'm saying? Just give the audience an understanding of the numbers that you were squatting and deadlifting, because they're freaking insane.
Yeah. Well, I've squatted over 900 pounds since I think 2014, 15 is when I started squatting in the 900. We're talking about raw squatting in the 900s. And then at the peak of my career, I squatted 1,008 pounds raw. My highest deadlift is 887. And then bench just south of 600, 589. So I put up some pretty massive numbers, but it takes a lot of body weight for me to move those kind of numbers, which actually this kind of segues back to Larry on how much of a genetic mutant he is, because Larry was putting up similar numbers with a waist the size of my quad. You know what I mean? Like that's what's so freaky about that kid. He's so 3D looking. His waist is this big, it's tiny, and then his fucking shoulders and chest are out here. So
thighs, man, he's got that hour-shaped glass, and it's so freaky. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's like he's like, just like you said, he's touched elite level sports and excelled. It's just he's an outlier in the fact that he's had all these facets of life that he's touched. Like, I want to try that, and done extremely well.
Yeah, and does it at the highest level very quickly. He jumped into bodybuilding, and I think he trained like a year for his first bodybuilding show and did very good. It would take most people could train for a lifetime and will never develop that kind of physique that he did in just a short year. And then he's got multiple world record powerlifting numbers in the 220 class, 242 class, 275 class, and the 308 class. So it's just it's a special person. I was very, very lucky to have the opportunity to compete against him, because I knew I would beat him. So it was pretty cool to get that chance to go out there in Dubai and beat up on the guy.
It's funny is before we had talked, and we had a whole conversation a couple of days ago, but I actually was going through videos because I love fitness. Well, basically, I love bodybuilding, I love strongman, I love powerlifting, and arm wrestling has been something that I just started following because we have a mutual friend, Jason, and he's all into. So I'm like, all right, let me kind of dabble in. And then I seen Larry doing all this arm wrestling stuff, so I was like, let me dive in a little bit more deeper. And then I actually watched the commentation of the video of him talking about him blowing his arm up and not having the strength there to just do it. He's like, I just wasn't conditioned enough to take that battle on. And I was like, and then when you were talking about it, I was like, oh shit, I just seen that.
Yeah, it's a whole different game. It's a whole different world. It's a strength sport and a combat sport. Similar to MMA, right? Like, I don't care how good of a fighter you are. If you're 135 pounds, Brock Lesnar is going to hold you down and pound your head in the ground. It's just not. There's nothing you can do. Yep. So, and that's because the strength gap is too big. So arm wrestling is a strength sport as long as the strength gap is similar. Like if we're within, like, I don't know, let's just say 10% for an easy number of strength. Now it comes down to a combat sport and who has the better plan, the better technique, the better execution of those plans, who can trick you. You make you think the pressure's coming one way, but it's coming somewhere else. It's a whole different game. That's why I love it. Because it's, like I said before on the other podcast we chatted on, like, I'm a super competitive person. I need something to do. I want to test my manhood against someone. And, I used to be in the form of getting drunk and getting in bar fights. And then it turned into powerlifting at the highest level. And then it was kind of going back to getting drunk and getting in bar fights. And then now I picked up arm wrestling. So I'll be honest too. Arm wrestling is way more nerve-wracking than the powerlifting was, because yes, the powerlifting, it's a much higher risk. You could legit die, under the weight that I was moving. But I knew that the weights were. I've tested those weights in my own circumstances. I know they're all kilogram calibrated, so it wasn't going to be off. I knew what the weight was. So, It was just whether or not I did everything on my end to recover properly and be ready for that day. Arm wrestling, you have no idea how strong the other guy is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you may think
It can be very, very fooling.
Yeah, and styles make matches too. You can be significantly stronger than the person in one lane. They can get your wrist turned a certain way, and all of a sudden now you have absolutely no power. It's a very strange thing on how much this can manipulate your arm and lat power. So it's nerve wracking. And just the top of my match with Larry, the internet was not on my side in that match. Everyone was telling me how stupid I was for taking this match, and I'm not confident until the event's happening, and I think that's a defense mechanism I use to win. Like powerlifting, I would envision myself going up there and just getting stapled under some big squat attempt and look like a fucking idiot for even attempting. Like, what were you thinking? Like, you're nowhere near ready for that weight. And I would get emotional, and I would go for a deadlift and not be able to hang on to it. And I would play this over and over again in my head, and I would use that for fuel and training. And I would train like a motherfucker and make sure that wouldn't happen on the platform. And then when I got on the platform, then I was so confident. I'd be like, okay, this is it. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. Same thing with Larry. I was doubting myself, which is a good thing for me because it made me train 10 times harder. And I was like, man, maybe he is just too strong. Maybe I'm going to go out there and just get embarrassed. Fuck, man, that's a long way to go to get your ass kicked. And then as soon as we got on the table and I was looking across from him, I knew. I was like, oh, no. This is my match. Like, he's not winning.
I own you.
Yeah, and I can just feel it. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't have a ton of experience in matches yet, but I felt that in my first match as well against Dave DePue. So
yeah,
hopefully it continues on, meaning when I feel that way, I know I'm going to win, and I actually do. We'll see. I got a big tournament coming up here at the LA Fit Expo in May 21st.
Nice.
Which will be my first big pro tournament. I've done a pro tournament before, and I ran through that tournament well. Everyone left and right-handed. It was a smaller tournament, though, up in Utah. No disrespect to the people that were there. It just wasn't a very stacked tournament. To where, at least in my weight class, the super heavyweight. So now the one in LA, this is a no joke tournament. This is where the big dogs go, and I would be very happy if I placed top 5. Nice. So obviously the goal is the podium, top 3. That would be like the ultimate, and then if I win, that'd be fucking a miracle, right? But the stars need to align. It needs to be the perfect bracket matchups, because in a tournament, the strongest guy doesn't always win. Not necessarily. You can get number 1 and number 2 lined up against each other very early on, and 5 and 6 get lined up against each other. 5 and 6 are going to use way less gas to climb that, where 1 and 2 beat themselves up, maybe get another tough match, meet them in the finals, and that guy just got his arm wrenched on by some killers. You just happen to get a lucky draw and get some guys you're able to walk through. Maybe your style complemented them well, and then you might end up getting a chance to win that. So there's hope that I can win this. There is hope. It's slim, it's
everyone thinks it's this arm-wrenching game. I'm like, no, it is a battle of technique. You know what I'm saying? Because technique wins matches. Strength is great because everybody needs it, like you said. But the thing is if you know your lane, you stay in your lane, you're gonna win, because that's just how you said with Larry. He was like, no, I knew the direction I needed to go in, and I fucking yanked and won.
Yep. And then, and it's about being stubborn too. And being smart. You have to know when to fight and know when to quit, right? Just like on what I'm saying in terms of how many matches you can have in a day. So a tournament, your strategy in a tournament's going to be a little different than your strategy in a super match. But even in the super match, I knew with Larry, all I had to do was stay on the table. Don't let him flash pin me. The longer we're on the table and I'm putting wear on his arm, the better chance I have at beating him in the later rounds, because the more tired he's going to get. He's going to build up lactic acid fatigue much quicker than I am, because I think I train better. But now with tournament, same thing. You can be lined up against a killer, get into a bad spot where you're not going to be able to turn it back over, but you could sit there and fight him for a little bit and wear him out. But is it worth it? Because you're wearing yourself out and you still got 2 or 3 or maybe 4 other matches to do later in the day, where it might make sense that let him take that pin, concede, move on, and then have more gas for the rest of the tournament. But again, I'm still pretty new. That I'm only 2 years into this, so I'm going to learn as I go, and I'm going to make best decisions. The decisions I think are proper. And obviously, I'll have my team. Jason will be there with me. Yeah. So I'll have guys there to help guide me and make sure I make the right decisions. But if I'm being honest, just being as new as I am and as aggressive as I am, I'm probably going to do everything I can to fucking win every match. And if it doesn't go my way, It just doesn't go my way. It's simple as that. But if I were able to be smart and calm and rational, I would, there would be some more strategy involved.
Well, there's just enough strategies, all it takes. You don't need all of it, just enough. You know what I'm saying?
And if you're just so much better at it, you don't need strategy at all. So maybe I need to just get stronger.
There we go. That's another thing too. Everyone, weight correlates to strength, but it doesn't always equal up to every sport. You know what I'm saying? And I always felt, because most people's arm wrestling experience, especially in the age group that we're in, it's gonna be the movie Over the Top. It's what they see and what they think, and these big gigantic guys. But the athleticism has evolved to like proper eating, proper training, proper technique, and not just brute strength, and having that knowledge of where to place your arm. But the thing, do you feel weight's going to be a lot more added to this when you start getting heavier, or is there weight classes? Like, I'm pretty sure everyone has to be within a certain weight range to compete against each other.
It's like anything. There's weight classes. I'm always going to be a super heavyweight because, you know what I mean? If you made a class for like 275 to, 350, there just wouldn't be a lot of us to where when it goes from 240, it enters more people into your class. And I'll be honest, I'm learning in arm wrestling, weight's not nearly as important, like body weight's not nearly as important as it is in powerlifting or strongman. For example, if I lose 5 pounds body weight, I lose 20 pounds on my bench. If I gain 5 pounds body weight, I usually gain 15, 20 pounds on my bench. It's very simple. Yeah. Same thing with squat and deadlift. The more mass you have, the more weight you can use. In arm wrestling, that's not necessarily the case. You might have maybe that quick one bit of power, but for how long can you sustain that power? Because a match can last anywhere from 3 to 30 seconds. I would say typically matches are like 5 seconds long, maybe 5 to 8 seconds, right? Depending, as long as the strength gap is similar. So you need to maintain that power at a maximum output for 8 seconds long. When you're super heavy, there's just not enough oxygen in the air to do that when you're north 300 pounds. So I'm down to 288 pounds right now from my typical walking around weight is around 310, 305, 310. And I'm continue going down. 275 is kind of the end goal where I think is going to be the perfect balance for me for power and endurance and not losing too much muscle too quick, drop into that weight. To where when I get to 275, once I start feeling strong at 275, relatively, right, for me, I think that's going to be optimal. Again, when I'm at 275, would I be stronger if I went up to 280, 285? Sure. Being in a caloric surplus for those last few weeks, training reduces as you're recovering more. You're on the PED, so that's all kind of building up. That would help. But I don't think like you need to be a 300-pound dude year-round to be a great arm wrestler. I really don't. Just me, just my thoughts on it. Like I said, 2 years into it, but I like it. That's one of the main reasons why I love this sport right now, because I get to be competitive. It gives me something to do, and I don't need to be, force feeding, 7,000 to 8,000 calories a day. Blasting year round, and it's not healthy, man. And I'm at 33 years old now. I did that shit for 10 years powerlifting, 1 foot in the grave the entire time. I'm lucky I made it out alive. A lot of our friends haven't, right? We're seeing now in the fitness community, people are dropping like flies. Big time. It could be related to something else, but again, I think the main thing that we're seeing, it's from being too large, and it's been eye-opening to me.
No, it's
been eye-opening to me. I don't want to be this large person anymore. I want to spend many years with my wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, like I said, I spent a good amount of my younger years at a 350 walking around. You know what I'm saying? I was just gigantic. I look like a completely different person I look now at 350 than I do at 300. And even at that, like back in October, I actually suffered damn near like life-ending heart attack. I had 100% blockage. They had to put 3 stents in me. It was so bad that they couldn't even they didn't have enough time to put me out to do the surgery. They just had to do it.
Wow.
And so, but that's what I'm saying is like, just like how you said, is being that large, that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like my heart attack was COVID related, and it was all, like from having COVID causing blood clots and all this stuff. But at not knowing that at over 300 pounds, these are the much greater effects of all these things that can affect you and happen. You know what I'm saying?
Did your heart attack come on suddenly, or were you experiencing chest pains for a while before?
It came on suddenly because like I had went to a music festival out here, which that's what probably overdid me, and that where I caught COVID.
Little too much ecstasy.
You know what I'm saying? Little bit too much of something, and I saw it was called Aftershock. So like it's the biggest festival they have out here in the Bay Area. It's 4 days of just solid metal. Yeah. And came home, got sick, got COVID, was sick for 7 days. And on the 7th day of, like, okay, I'm all good. I feel better. Had a heart attack this morning. It just suddenly hit me. I had pressure in the chest, which it as a large person, you always have pressure in your chest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is this was a different kind of pressure because it was like this heartburn, stabbing pain that I was having. And I was like, oh man, that really doesn't feel good. And like, it wasn't like how I would normally feel. Like I'm all being at 300 pounds, you breathe heavy. Anything over 300 pounds, you breathe extra heavy. You just can't help it. So the feeling that I got was this heartburn / like stabbing pain in my chest. I'm like, all right, that feels different. That feels weird. Something's going on. Went to the hospital and they're like, oh, you got 100% blockage. And with that 100% blockage, like I said, they're just like, nope, straight into surgery. They fucking put the 3 stents in my heart to open it up. And once they did that, I instantly felt better. And I was awake while this was going on. So as soon as they did whatever they did and he opened it up, I was like, everything went away. All the pain, all the problems that I had.
Really?
Wow. I was like, I feel that much better. You know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those things that, like I said, it's about taking care of your health. It's about taking care of your eating habits. It's about being as healthy as you can be doing what we love. You know what I'm saying? Bodybuilding's always been my style. Bodybuilding's always been everything I've always done. And just, at the end of the day, I was like, nope, being under 300 pounds is now my goal. So like and because of that heart attack, I have had my body's holding everything. So I can't lose weight. I can't lose water. I can't, like, my body will not let go because it's literally resetting itself. So as soon as it's done resetting itself, like I said, I'm coming completely down in weight where I'm, like I said, 275, just like how you said, would feel comfortable. That's the same thing I told myself. I was like, 275, I think that's going to be my walking around weight.
Yeah. Do you wear a CPAP?
Yeah. CPAP over my nose. I wear it every night religiously. Because, even when I got tested, I was 157 times a night. I'd stop breathing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, when I got when I did my sleep study 5 years ago, the doctor said he had never seen anyone hit REM sleep as fast as I had. I literally, I remember going in there, blinking and opening my eyes, and it had been 5 hours because I hadn't hit REM in so long. I remember feeling like I was on drugs. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like I felt so rested and recovered.
Yeah.
I mean, I would fall asleep at the wheel. I was completely narcoleptic because I would never sleep, it was sleep apnea. And then for the first 2 weeks of wearing a CPAP, I pissed the bed for 2 weeks in a row every night.
Yeah, you're sleeping good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my body wasn't hitting REM ever. And so when it finally did, I'd pee the fucking bed. I didn't get up. And then
people don't understand. Yeah,
I know. And a week after, I would wake up peeing. I would literally be in bed. I'd wake up peeing myself. I'm like, what the fuck? And then obviously, you know what I mean? Your body.
Yeah, no. When you get that good sleep, because there's a difference. Like, I average maybe about 5 hours with my mask on. And the difference between that and then getting a full night's sleep without it is just so much freaking different. You know what I'm saying? It's
really is. I'm the same as you.
Yeah, it's
5 to 6 hours. And then 5 to 6 hours, I wake up and I take a piss, and then I'll go and sleep for another 2 hours. But that 2 hours doesn't do shit like that 5 or 6 hours did it all. Even when I get to take a piss that 5 or 6 hours, it's like 3:30, 4 in the morning. I feel amazing. I'm like, man, I could start my fucking day right now.
The goddamn freaking truth. And I went through so many different CPAP masks that I was like, this is not comfortable. This is not, because I was feeling smothered. And then I ended up getting one of those pillow ones. It's literally these two little things sit right in the nostrils. I went from the medium to the large, and as soon as I got the large, boom, completely changed my game. And if I don't know if you order them or not, but I buy their CPAP sanitation wipes. So every single day I get them before I go to bed, wipe them down, let it air out. Same thing with an ozone. If you know what I'm saying, if you ain't got one of those ozone ones, it literally cleans it for you. So you plug it into the tube, cleans the CPAP and the hose, and then you take it out, put the mask on, put the mask in the bag with it, and then it cleans the mask, so you never have to wash it.
Oh yeah, I'll probably have to have you send me the link to that.
I'll send you the link to it. You know what I'm saying? Because
I do wear the pillows. I'm the same as you. I'm extremely claustrophobic. I can't have anything over my face. So when I switched to the pillows, that changed everything for me. Made life way better. I had to go to a medium though. The large wasn't. It was too much. It would fill my nostrils, and the medium did better for me. But I just clean it with alcohol every day. But I guess they have more specific things because CPAP can be very damaging in the long run. In fact, a good, close family friend of ours is dealing with some kind of lung cancer infection, some stuff that was onset from his CPAP from the humidifier pumping air into his lungs all night. So I don't know. I don't want to be relying on a machine to sleep and to get good sleep. That's another driving force for my weight loss. I think at 275, I won't need the CPAP. We'll find out when I get there.
Definitely find out because the one thing about strength training and lifting is the neck build. You build muscles in your neck that normal people don't build, and that's what ends up constricting us. It's because our necks get so freaking large
and the weight on
so
your
muscular.
chest and your pecs.
Yeah, exactly. It's just unfortunately sometimes there's nothing you do because you get a lot of overweight people. As soon as they put on a CPAP, they instantly lose weight. They instantly feel better in the lead. But the thing is they've never built those muscles, so when they lose the weight, they don't have to use the CPAP because, like I said, they never developed any of those traps or neck muscles that like us have. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
And then too, like a lot of, because I looked into all that too. A lot of those things that happen to people because of the CPAP machine is because of improper cleaning and them not maintaining their product. Because I have one of those ones that humidify. I have to pull the tank out. I wipe down the tank with the wipes. I even have to wipe the gasket down because there is a gasket in there that seals it. And that ends up building all kinds of stuff on there because I didn't even know it came out until one day I took it out. I'm like, oh, that's disgusting. And I cleaned it out.
Yeah, you're breathing that all night, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there's been times where we clean. My wife helps me with the maintenance on the CPAP, and there's been times where it just smells. I'm like, throw it all away, order new shit. No matter how clean you get it, there's this smell that I can't get over, and I don't want to smell
that because I had my CPAP for 6 months, and once that smell hit, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 months, I just refused to wear it because it had that smell. But once I got that ozone machine, it literally, like I said, it sanitizes it to where it doesn't have that smell, and it's not required to have to wash because you got to wash it, let it dry. There's all this morning routine. Completely took it all out of the fucking the thing for me because I was like, man, this is just as much as we say we need to do this, it just became too much. I'm like, I don't have enough time in the day, even though we're supposed to make time. Sure. It was like, this is too much of a hassle.
Yeah, when you're tired, the last thing you want to do is shove the machine in your fucking nose. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because then it wakes you right back up, and then you're dealing with the noise, and then you have to adjust your breathing as the CPAP adjusts to your patterns, of your air in, air out. And then you're like, lay there half asleep, like, no, I'm going to wait till I get tired, then I'll put it on. And then I wake up, and it's 3 a.m. I didn't sleep well at all because I was choking all night because I didn't order my fucking mask.
Exactly.
But,
or you want to.
I still battle with it. I still battle with it.
Yeah, we all do.
3 nights a week, I don't wear it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, trust me. That's every one of us. Because also too, as soon as you put on a CPAP, you no longer feel that. Like I said, we all, you lay next to your wife, I lay next to my wife, and I put that on, and all of a sudden I'm like, I know what I want to do, but now that I got this on, I don't want to do shit.
I'll still do it. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, get up on here, honey.
I'm not taking this off.
It's staying on. I want to survive it.
That's
I know. Interesting thing. When I was in Dubai, being 320 pounds at that time, I was larger than normal. So obviously the CPAP was a must. Just even sitting there laying down, watch TV, I'd wear it. You know what I mean? Just so I could actually get some quality rest.
Yeah.
But the humidity was so high, even in the room with the AC on, that the first 2 nights wearing it, I'd rip it off at 2 a.m. because it would build up with water and it would and start spitting water through my nose. And because the humidity was so high in the air. So then we just ran my tank dry and then ran the CPAP with no humidifier, and then it worked fine because that's how moist the air was in Dubai.
Yeah, damn, that's great. Kind of drown you.
Yeah, that's what was happening. First time I woke up, I didn't understand what was happening. I was like, damn, all this water is all in the hose. I wonder how this happened. That's weird. We must have did something wrong. I don't know. So I air it out, with a blow dryer, dry it, and then I'm like, all right, the next night. So I'm wearing it the next night, and then I realized what was happening. It was so much condensation, was spewing water. And then I was like, all right, take all the fucking water out of the thing, and then we ran it dry, and I was able to get some quality sleep.
There we go. Yeah, that's adjusting on the fly right there.
Yeah, it had to be done, man. You know how it is before an event. You already don't want to sleep, and the last thing you want to be doing is choking on your own fucking throat. So I needed whatever I can,
No, that's definitely it. That's definitely it. Brother, I know I don't got you for too long, but thank you for coming on. I appreciate just coming and just chopping it up and having a good conversation.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Let my people know where they can find you. You know what I'm saying? I know you offer coaching. I know you got, let these guys know here.
Yeah. So easiest way to get a hold of me quickly would be on Instagram. Brandon Allen Filthy Power is my IG handle. Shoot me a DM. I respond to all DMs except for the weird ones. And that would be the quickest way. If you don't have Instagram, you can email me at filthypowerprogramming@yahoo.com. You can also find my YouTube channel if you're interested in arm wrestling content, and that is Brandon Allen Filthy Power as well. My Instagram is going to be more powerlifting focused, and my YouTube will be more arm wrestling focused. But whatever you're interested in, shoot me a DM, general strength training, or you want to do a powerlifting meet, I got you covered.
There we go. I'll put all the links in the notes. And with that being said, hey, thank you guys for watching. I'm the Angry Motherfucking Dad. You want to watch my shit? IGTV, YouTube. You want to listen to a Spreaker, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, SoundCloud, Deezer, iHeartRadio. My shit is there. You can easily fucking find it. Rate, review, like, subscribe, all that bullshit. It really helps me to fuck out. I'm also part of the Inner Circle Podcast Network, group of powerful podcasters out there sharing their shit. That is innercirclepn.com. Take every one of our websites, every one of our platforms, every one of our fucking shows, which shows as Creatures of the Night, The Hood Diner, The Untrained Eye, The Plunge, Failing Hollywood, Simmons and More podcast. Shit happens when you party naked, too hot for the fucking internet, so it has to be on Patreon at Patreon/Team Elmy. Make sure you'll check it the fuck out, and we'll see y'all motherfuckers on the next one.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
Never die. Always living. Always living. Always living. Always living. Always living. Always living.